Hello again, lovelies. How are you all doing today? I hope you are well. I am, because the tree is now up and decorated. Yay! So I'm kind of following on from that today with, it's still quite early in December, but my first few cards have been turning up. How lovely. Oh, the light's gone wonky. Few cards have turned up. How lovely. However, I don't think I've got enough space here. I'm hoping I will receive more cards. I might not, who knows. But going on past years, this isn't enough space for my cards. So obviously in London I had my big, huge bookcase. I also had my mantelpiece to put cards on. Everywhere got smothered in cards. The bureau behind me. So without having that here, I've no mantelpiece. There might be a mantelpiece one day. Oh, shelves. Actually, by the way, in terms of the shelves, both it'll be shelving and cupboards. I've got a carpenter lined up. Oh, I'm so happy. So we're at the stage where, so I got him sort of fixed in, as it were, back in, I think towards the end of October. We agreed a price. So he came over, did a rough measurement. Let me just pop you a bit. We need a bit more light. There we go. We've got the tree. Yeah, he did a rough, measured it out. We talked about my design, again, roughly designed it out, discussed types of wood. I'd love to have it all done in oak, can't afford it. So he quoted me for oak, and I'm going to have tulip wood and MDF because I'm probably going to paint them. So I've opted for the cheaper version. So we've agreed the price, we've agreed he'll do the work, and then what's going to happen now is in the new year we can book dates and nail down the design. So he'll come back and do much more accurate, really, it's bespoke. None of the walls are straight. So he'll do his really accurate measurements, and then we can just finesse the design. So we know in principle what I want, and a couple of ergonomics to do with sockets and my access to sockets because they'll be in cupboards, that sort of thing, but also in terms of all the moulding around the top, the moulding down the sides. They're going to be adjustable. Can't wait. But until that happens, reaching for props. So what am I going to do with my Christmas cards? I've got a bit of wall space here, and there's a hook in the wall from the previous people. So I thought, I went into the garden, into my shed. I've got some old bits of bamboo that I'd found around and abouts in the garden. And what I've done, I've cut them into 3 different lengths, staggered lengths, and then I'm going to hang them a few centimetres apart like this, so they form, almost like a Christmas tree shape. So I'm going to get some string, get these hung up in this space. If I've got some, also today I'm going to make the wreath, and I'm going to make some wrapping paper. So once I've made the wreath, if I've got some bits of foliage left over, I can just put a little bit of foliage on the ends just to hide the ends. So anyway, let's get on and get these hung and see if it works. Wow, we've got some incredibly bright sunshine today. Can you see what I'm doing? So I've started with the bottom ones. This is going to be the last one. So just put it there to get a sense of length. I might have to close the blinds, oh my goodness. Snip it off. Let me just tie this up. Hang on, I'm just going to hoik the blinds a bit because will that help us? That helps, doesn't it? Would you Adam and Eve it? Getting rid of the sunshine at this time of year. And what I'll do then on the ends, I've just left the string on the ends like that for now. Once I'm happy with it, I can trim it all off, and like I said, hopefully have a little bit of leftover foliagey bits from the wreath. But yeah, a little wall. You can't get. Actually, we wrote the wrong out. But a little wall tree for going to make it wonky. If I pull one, they're all going to move. For making somewhere for my cards to hang. So for example, I'll have to do them like, so it's balanced. But yeah, somewhere for my cards, and like I said, if I can get a little bit of foliage on the ends of each one, all well and good. And then I've still got a little bit of room, I can still put cards on there. Yay! You won't even see the shape once it's covered. Bit of foliage needed, I think. Right, should we go and make a wreath? Happy days. A little forage. I think that will do me nicely. I only found one tiny bit of berries, that's from the garden. But yeah, that should do me. Let's get making. Yay, I've got my bits together. That's a very happy sight. Oh, a couple of things. One, I knew there was something missing on my Christmas tree. These are knitted baubles. The design is by Arne and Carlos, and I'm pretty sure quite a lot of you watch them. And these were made for me by Jim. I left the tags on because they're so cute. So they are going to go to the tree. And also this fabric, it's not a tablecloth, it's just some fabric. It's very cute. Very Christmassy. And I bought it ages ago to do some Christmas makes with. Haven't had time, usual story. And it's I still had the tag on it, Bromley. Oh my goodness, yes, a while ago. But yes, it's nice to have a little bit of the red in here for winter / Christmas. So I've got my bits of foraged foliage. I've got some pine cones. Don't worry with the candle, I'll be here all the time. I wouldn't leave it to burn in a wooden bowl with pine cones on its own. Plus a few trimmings from the Christmas tree. And so that's all my bits. And then I've got my cutters, and this is some, I bought it as garden wire. You might call it florist's wire. It's quite fine. Picked that up at good old Nixon's. And my wreath frame. It's only a little one, but that's fine. And then I've got a big sheet of old plastic there to spread on the table because I'm going to make that messy. Oh, and I also rifled in my what do you call it, my ribbon stash. So I've got all sorts of ribbons in here. And in there, yeah, so I might add a little bit of ribbon to it as well. Right, yay, let's get on. And I've popped the fairy lights on in the background. They don't really show up so much. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so but by the evening it's such a sweet sight in there, just glowing warmly. Right, stop faffing around, Vivi, get on with making. I've never sorry, you can't hear my clattering. I've never made a wreath before, but I'm figuring, well, it can't be too difficult. And also, you know what, it doesn't matter if it's, this isn't about perfection. It's about, you know, bringing a bit of greenery to the home and enjoying it. So what I'm going to do is, to start with, just separate the bits I've got. So those have all got flowers on, the ivy flowers. That's all laurel. It smells lovely. And then the ivy, and some of the ivy is quite dark green. The light's not going to be great in here this afternoon, but As you can see, some of it's quite dark, some of it's quite light. And essentially what I'm going to do is, that's a small bit anyway, make about, I'm not quite sure how many, maybe 15 or so, make 15 little bouquets of a little bit of each bit of foliage, although there's only a couple of those bits, but make about 15, 20 little bouquets individually, and then tie the bouquets onto the wire. So this bit's going to take me a while, so why don't you all go and get yourselves a mug of hot chocolate or something whilst I crack in. So what I'm doing now is I'm just, I've got foliage everywhere, I'm just divvying out the remaining foliage just to make sure, just trying to make sure that each bunch is nice and bushy. I think I might do that. Oh, that's a couple of bits, that one and that one as spare there. That's rubbish. And then, oops, that's the last of the laurel bay, whatever it is. So yeah, I'm just making up little bunches like this. So I've got some, it's Christmas tree offcuts, the little bit of laurel and a little bit of ivy. I didn't get any holly, never mind. And I've just put the first few onto the wreath. So that's, whoopla, that's 4 bunches attached so far. So I reckon it's going to take for another 10 to fill it out. We'll carry on. So these are all pretty much the same, and then at the end I've got one with the berries and then one with the ivy flowers. So, right, where are my secateurs? It's like, I don't know, sort of like a recipe. Is it like a recipe? Just want to make sure I've got a little bit of everything in each. Oh, the smell is beautiful in each one. Before I finalise my tying. And I think this will do it. What a lovely thing to do for an hour or so. Actually, it's probably going to take you 2 hours, but pleasurable. That can be on that one. Let's see, have I missed one? No, I'll keep those as, oh no, that's a bit flea bitten. Blew a great big hole in it. So that can go in the waist. That can be a spare. And then that can be spare. I think that's waist. And if, oh, excuse me, reaching onto the floor. And if I haven't calculated it properly, I'll just go back out to the garden. The only thing is I don't have any more Christmas tree bits. I suppose I could go around the back of the tree, couldn't I, and take a bit off. Yeah. It's the sort of thing, I feel like, I'm not going to though, I feel like almost like I ought to be having a glass of sherry while I do this. I think I'm in the territory of sherry. Now, I think before I tie, right, that's waist. I've just kept my basket down here for my waist so it can go in the compost. I'm going to set those aside as well because I want to make sure I get these ones in. Although, a tiny little bit of colour. Although I am thinking maybe again it's all going to be a bit too big and a bit too busy. I think what I'll do, I'm going to hold on to these for now. I'm going to make up the rest of my bunches now. Then fill in maybe all but 2 bunches on the frame, and if it's not looking too big and busy I can put the ivy flowers in as well, but if it's it might just be that it's going to be just the foliage, because the foliage is beautiful. So, right, where's a bunch that's ready to go? So that little bunch, wire. I mean, it couldn't be more simple. It's fiddly, but it's simple. The main thing at the end of all of this will be, oops, after Christmas, dismantling it to make sure I get all the wire, and then we just put a little bit more wire on, and this is for holding it to the frame. Yeah, just when it comes to the end of Christmas, dismantling this and making sure that I've gotten all the wiring, all the wire out, and then the rest can just go onto the compost heap. The entire thing can go on the compost heap. Oh, I should say as well, because some people may say, you haven't got any moss. No. Look, it's a bit sphagnum moss. It takes a long time for sphagnum moss to grow, and it acts as an amazing carbon sequesterer. It holds onto carbon. So I'd rather not use it. Yeah, I'd rather not, which means, you know, it will dry out and die. But it's only going to be around for a couple of weeks anyway, so, you know, it's not a big deal. Right, well, I'm going to carry... Did a bit just fall out? That does happen. Just poke it back in. Pokey poke. Right, well, I'm going to carry on with all of this and come back to you when it's nearly done. Ta-da! Finished! It may not be the world's best, but as my first go, I'm really rather pleased. And actually, excuse me, I love it for just being the simple greenery. I'm not going to add anything else to it. I'm not going to add any ribbons or bows or anything. I'm just going to hang it as it is. That's a little bit of... Sorry about that. I had a real tickle in my throat. Yes, it's a lovely bit of green for the middle of winter, isn't it? Or it's not quite the middle of winter, but yeah, a little bit of green to cheer the day. Right, I better go and hang it, hadn't I? Yay! Oh, I'm delighted. Well, more than anything, I'm happy to have a front door now on which to hang a wreath, and I am pretty certain it won't get nicked. Not down here. And then on to my next project for the afternoon. And now for my last bit of crafting of the afternoon. Potato printing. Yay! Oh my goodness, it's been a long time. I'm making a mess. Do you know what? Making a mess is part of it. Don't worry about the mess. I'm using a watercolour. I'm just splodging stars. The mess, the drips, show that it's handmade. This has been great. Yeah, crafting, love it. Never make the time. I don't have the time for it, but I don't know, something about this time of year, and I think, to heck with it. I'm going to carve out a couple of hours to make a wreath, make a mess. I really am making a mess. But what could be lovelier than homemade wrapping paper? And you know it's even more special. But also, so I'm just using a watercolour. I don't have any poster paint. Oh, and I should, I've done a big splodge. It's all part of the handmade charm. Yeah, I popped into I'm going to come around the other side. We have a lovely shop in Swanage. Swanage Wool and Craft Shop. And Sarah in there. Hello, Sarah. So it's not somewhere I go into very often because I'm not a knitter, but they also have art supplies. yeah, I was just saying that, you know, having or making time for doing some crafting is so rare these days. There always seems to be, you know, there's something else needs doing. There's important things need doing, etc., etc. But I think it's good for our souls every now and again, especially something like this that's a little bit messy. It's really quick. There we go. I think that's enough paper. I've got 3 smallish things to wrap, so that should do. And yeah, I was saying, so it's watercolour. This is just brown. It's fairly thick paper. I use it for sending parcels out in the post. But this can all go in the recycling afterwards. It could even go in the compost if the recipients so choose. But yeah, that was fun. That was so worth it for, what, the cost of a spud. Brilliant. I think the spud was 30p. I've still got half of it. I could eat the other. Oh no, I won't eat the other half. Anyway, right, let me just have a quick wash of my hands. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this afternoon. I hope you enjoyed it. A little bit of improv, frugal Christmasing, if you like. I've got nowhere to display my cards. Oh, foliage for the ends, I might do. But yeah, nowhere to display my cards. Make a card hanging tree. No wrapping paper, make my own wrapping paper. No wreath, go out and forage some greenery and make your own wreath. Yay! And, probably goes without saying, but the presents this paper is for wrapping, they're also second-hand, but in lovely condition. That's okay. Oh yeah, and my table centrepiece of my pine cones and the candle in my it's a dough bowl. So the pine cones are forage, they didn't cost anything. The candle was £1 in a charity shop. So yeah, it is possible to do a little bit of this Christmassy stuff on a really tight budget, but more than anything, have a bit of fun. You know, just in the course of a week or a fortnight, give yourself 2 hours to play, because that's kind of what it was today. Play. Right. Now I've got to get back to work though, but I'm so happy I had this little time, and I hope you are getting to have your moments too. So until the next one, happy playing for Christmas or whatever, just happy playing. I'll see you really soon. Until then, cheerio lovelies.